Now then, here's the latest eBay purchase. It's a 380 CD. Well, it's looking like a 380 CD at the moment. It hasn't done a lot because the bottom base is not too scraped out. It's got all the signs of a 380 CD. The top bit here, the handle, brake, and the giveaway will be the block number. I'm fairly confident it is. So the first thing is just to strip the cover off and the two side covers, and we'll get down to it and refurbish this one. I'll try and go into a bit more detail this time if I've got the patience. Hello, Mrs Digwell.
Hello.
Right, the first step, simple one, is to remove the covers. Initially, there's a cap missing, but it doesn't matter about that. Spark jumper. Nice clean air filter. And there's not a lot of, I think somebody's had it, I've tried to get it to go. I've tried it, but it's got no spark at the moment. It's clean enough in there. Remove the cover. I just bought another one, a 263, so that'll be the next one on the list. No brake band. The seller said it hadn't a brake band, but I do have a brake band that I can use off, well, I do use off another store, a later one. It's not the right shape, but you can just bend it with some pliers and get some 3mm threaded rod, stainless rod, to go up through here, and then put a nut on, and away you go. I mean, I can't find it for love of money. The brake bands. Right. No, it's not on diesel, so that's not a problem. Remove the end cover. The full start. 380s always have a sandwich plate. It's looking good at the moment. Got myself a magnetic. Oh. Crikey Moses. This is going to be a total rebuild as usual. New bearings. Have a look at the rings. Might replace the ring or rings. Oh, look. Let me just put you off for a second. I need to go and get something to tip this rubbish into. Right, so next step I think that we'll do is take the flywheel off. I like to do this early on because it can be an absolute nightmare if you had pullers. This is a 77cc. I can see I'm pretty sure of it, 52Z-N1 on the block. Can you see that in there at all? Yeah. You'll perhaps see it better when we get this off. So we'll remove the I'll do the nut. That's I'll put the nut on, protect the threads, and if you haven't got a puller, this is the only way. It looks a bit brutal. Punch is too big. Let's have a look. few sharp taps. No, nothing yet. I squirt some WD down there. Sometimes helps it. These could have been on since the day the saw was produced, early 70s, so they can take a bit of, I've sometimes had to come back the next day. It's been waiting for the WD just to get down onto the taper. Put you off for a minute while right, I think she's gone. Yep. Now we'll see what sort of electronics are underneath. That'll give us a, oh, it's definitely a 380. Mind you, it could be a 263. That's a new coil assembly, that. It looks it. Hey? It looks it. Look at all this shite in here I've got to get it rid of. I'll just do that and I'll come back to you. But that's just that's the standard setup. I don't know what was sparking. Could be something to do with this suppressor in here. Or a duff plug perhaps. Never checked that one. No problem. Another way of finding out what size engine it is by removing the exhaust and having a look to see how many rings the piston has. These are funny size. These aren't the right bolts in here. Hey, what are them? I don't like that at all. I've not had one break off yet in the head. Let's have the bottom ones off first. So she's looking like a 380 CD at the moment, which means it's got the, there's a bit of a anomaly there. There's I'll be with you in a second. There's a bit of grinding going on in there. Might have to do something with that in the chain tensioner department. Let's see what's amiss there. I'll have it out. These are like gold dust. And the spigots and the pin, they're bigger. There's 6mm. All the later ones are only little 5mm. That's another indicator that it hasn't done a low work. The spigots. Hardly used, hardly marked, so it's gone down at an early stage and somebody hasn't been able to get it. Now these I'll just put you off a minute. I need a 19mm. Right, I'm back. Piston stop, beveled edge so it doesn't dig in. don't put it in too deep, or you could get it caught under the uppers. Transfer ports. Which you could break the edges off them. Right, reverse thread, tighten to undo, little tap either way. Oh, hey, look at that. Pinch your eyelids if you weren't watching. They've stolen the spring, eh? So it's obviously not worked for a long time, and people have just took them apart because they probably live off grid, can't get the parts. That's a good magneto, but it looks more like a 263 magneto. So we're going to go back to the exhaust telltale. I'll just go over here. See if it's 10mm. No, they're not 10. Oh, this is. That's a 10, but I think it'll slip. Oh, it hasn't. Ah, fine. Nice. I have a problem finding exhaust gaskets for these. It's the oval shaped one. I've just sent for some from China, but they've come back square. I don't know whether you can cut them because they're reinforced with tin and some anti-fireproof. They've even pinched the gasket. Oh, it hasn't. Oh, I'll take it all back. Look, they're the oval one. Anybody know where you can get them from? You know, 10 for about $5. Nothing extravagant. We do build these on a shoestring. Oh, pistons a bit scored, but I've got one. I have a spare. I want to turn it round, and I've got no means to turn it over. So as I can see the pistons up the bore at the moment. Need to pull it down. Oh, look. Can you see in there? 2 rings. Two rings. Very badly scored piston. So that makes it a 77. 77cc. So that will pull a 28-inch bar. The other ones do. So you need very few tools. You just need a 14mm socket, a little 10mm socket. You can use that to take the carburetor off while we're at it here. 7mm on there. One. There's nothing internally really that can go wrong with the tillers and carbs, other than the diaphragms. Need changing every now and again. And sometimes you have to pull the this tiny small core plug out. You can get muck under there if you're having trouble starting. Oh. But when you buy these kits, you get a large core plug. We'll just take that off for safekeeping. These springs and things, you can't get these. Well, you can, but that's not the straw saws that have been completely stripped. But if you just get yourself some, I don't know what size that is, 4mm stainless wire and a pair of pointy nose pliers, you can get the proper ones. You can bend these yourself instead of paying £10 for a second-hand one. Might as well have a new one. Choke lever, got the usual 10 yards of wire through them because the original clip's been lost. I'll break it off, I think. Just a bit of spring wire. Click it out. Remove it, put it for safekeeping. Aluminium. That's thousands of those. Oh. That's a bit stuck on. There she blows. And there's a carburetor. I'll put it in I'll take the tops and the bottoms off and put it in a jar of petrol, just a jam jar, shake it about, and all the screws and bits are out. There aren't many. We'll go through that later on. Put it over here. The gaskets we make ourselves, as you know. You'll see in a previous video how to make gaskets for these crankcase gaskets, and this carburetor adapter. You just got to be sure that you get the hole aligned. It goes into the crankcase pressure sensor. Well, it senses the crankcase pressure. Stop-start mechanism. What shall we do next? We'll switch off and come back. Alright, back. Let's take the coil off. I can't see that should be anything wrong with that because it looks as he says again. I bought some proper tools for this. Two ways you can go and get them. That's a long range. I think that's the one. There it is. Here we go. Everybody makes them in different size drives. I'll show you what I also bought in the week when I bought this from the same place. The barn find, supposedly. I bought it's supposed to be an L-well, E-well, is it? Yeah, it is. L-well £4.5. Lovely handle on it. That looks like, it looks like blooming oak to me, but I don't think it's probably hickory. But it's supposed to have a £4.5 head. But for wedging, but I couldn't swing it. My wrists aren't strong enough these days. So just a little add in there while I get this on. There's just two, I think 4mm hex. 4mm hex. And we're going to strip this down to the, put new, although you think they're turning over nicely when they're very old and you get down to the nitty gritty, the main bearings are shot, usually good and grunchy. It's stuck. Oh, that's new. I've never seen that before. Ah, and that lines up. Can you see it's the first time I've seen this? There's a pointer in the top and it matches up at the moment with that bar there, so I'm going to mark that. Mark it. I usually just drop them in and hope they find their own position, but oh heck, the camera's gone for a walk. Again, as I said, I bought the proper machines. There's a grommet in there, needs pushing through. I think I'll take this spark arrestor, intensifier or whatever. I used to put these on the motorbikes. Oh look, that doesn't look very good. Oh, it's got cut off short, I think. And he's extended the, or somebody has extended the wire. A little grommet here, which is a bit of a sod. See if we can push it through. Are you getting all this, the camera right? Are you getting it all? How the heck can I get that through there? There she goes. Well, you have to look up if these aren't working, or you just assume they're not. That's not in very well, is it? That could have been well, it wasn't sparking. Look at that later. The ground wire for switching on and off goes through a little rubber grommet here in the back, and that can get either pushed in or the wire can actually get cut through, and it grounds on the body, gives you a false ground, and you wonder why you haven't got any sparks. So that's another one to look into. Goes for the 380 and the Pt.1Stripdown, which is 63 cc's. It runs a single ring piston, on a 46, what is it now, 47 mil piston, and this one will be 52. So barky. Somebody's put a load of black silicone on here to try and stop the petrol coming out the tank, when in fact there's an open space under there which it would still leak, I think. Right, I'll get that one out of there. And the single screw here is just holding the plate of the coil assembly in. Come on. Right, let's switch off and put on again. Right, well, I can take this back off. Three, 6, 7, 3 8x7. That's not a bad sprocket. There's a little oil seal in here, which it's odd to, you can't get them for love of money, as usual. It's a step thing. I'll hang on to that, and then there's nothing else behind it apart from the pump. Now, can we get the pump off? And the pump removed easily. Our side is usually really tight. Oh man! Oh, if you damage the heads of these, you're in funny street. I find that a good idea is to give them a tap, just shocks the threads a bit. So this is the oil pump removal. Keep these, because if you try and put socket heads in here, they sometimes catch the underneath of the, oh man, oh. Catch it underneath the sprocket, underneath here. Of course you know all this, don't you? Because you're all professionals. I'm just a backyard. I've done this once, it was a bit too heavy-handed, and I broke all the casting off. They're not very thick. Again, you need to, they don't usually go because the components are running in oil all the time. Oh look, we lost a pin on. Oh no, we haven't. No, they're both there's two. Right. So, and the oil seal's in there, which is the same as the other crank seal on the other side. And I've got a bag of those China specials. Right. Now what we want to do next is get, we need to take the handle off. Oh, somebody's robbed a a rubber doodah. You've got to be awake all night for these, that doesn't look very good. Oh man, how are you going to get that out? Okay. What I'll have to use, oh well, hang on, we're getting a pile up of tools here. If oh. Oh, well. If I can find a splined one, it's a little bigger, knock it in. That one's bigger than the hole. And then we'll replace that. Oh, how comes that in there? This isn't good. If it ain't good, I think that one's miles too big. No. Is that on? I'll put you off. Right, we got it well mashed. Need a new one. Let's try this one. Full of dirt. You can't get the socket in there. It's full of muck. And it's all been dragging on the ground. As I said earlier, very little. For a 50-year-old saw, it's only just, I mean, some of these are just gouged away over the years. Put a full wrap on these. Now we've worked out the Chinese full wraps. You'll see in a previous video. Work on these gas tanks fitted to a lot of saws in the early days. Right, this is getting down a bit thinner. We'll try the cylinder head bolts. Oh, that one was quite loose. Well, wasn't done up to 100 Newton meters. The heads can be damaged through years and years of abuse. People have had the saws apart. And we're still running. Right. You have to make do with everything here because we're off grid. The nearest neighbour's 40 miles away. Let's see what the bore's like. If the chrome bore's knackered, we're in trouble. I haven't got a spare. Hopefully the piston will have marked and left the bore half decent. Hey, it's fine, I think. Chromium being harder than... There's the number for the 380s on the blocks. 52Z. 52ZN1. If it said, I think it's, is it 789 or 89 something, it'll be a... That's not too bad, that'll run. I'll give it a rub with the Scotch Brite. That can go there. Get the pistons in a bit of a state. Oh, I can feel them. His main bearings are shot. And there are the brown. Look. 6202s, SKF, FGF, or whoever they get them from, or £2 a piece. I don't think the piston's as bad as we'd have scored well on this back edge. I've got a better piston. I'll take the circlips head, piston pin clips. Come on. Hang on to them. Long walk to go and get some new ones. I'll top that pin out. Oh no, I can't because of the ones in the way. I'm just going to go out and see if Mrs Digwell's alright. She went out to Kindle an hour ago, but... Right, we'll just tap the piston pin out. It's not that one. get it. I'll use the £3 hammer this time. Right, now these needle rollers, I've measured them up. They're obviously 12mm inside diameter for the pin. They're 16.5, 17 wide by 15 outer, and I can't find them anywhere. I've been through all the bearing specialists. I may have one try, but I've got to send for one just to test it first. But this is in a heck of a state. It's not good, it needs a wash. And I'm going to put it back in so I don't lose it. But you've got to be real careful or the needles drop out on you. There you go. But she's well scored. That'll be the thrust side as it's going over. Push. That'll be the trailing edge this side. Clean side. It's not that clean. It's basically just dirty fuel and muck and getting drawn in and lying in the crankcase. That's possible it could rub up. It's only it's not rubbing on the bore, shouldn't be. It's the rings that rub on the bore, and the oil film should I mean, it would do a saw put together with bits. I'm sure it would. It should mic up at 52 mil. Well, I know it is. There you go. 51.64. Nominal 52 mil. Hey. Good job. Right, take the handle off. These go into captive nuts in the other side of the handle. Yeah, and there. So again, try not to lose them. And push the nut out, I think, so that we don't lose it. Now it's stuck in, so it'll stay in there. I'm going to put one of them back in because it wants to come apart. So, triggers are gold dust these days. All these have got to be boshed, put in the muck cleaner. You get some of this I'll just put you off for a second. So I'm going to split the crankcase. No, we're not. We're going to take the fuel tank out first. Each of these short 16mm length, 5mm. One. I'll take them rubbers off. That won't come out. One there's one missing from there. Some unknown reason. Must have robbed it. Robbed it. There really isn't much to them. Getting them apart when they've been used, it's just, you know, like in your car when you want to change your exhaust and the nuts are just welded with the years of heat and muck. And then there's a secret one down in there which goes through the front of the tank rubbers. These large rubbers are a bit of a pain to get a hold of. That should come apart now. Have we got them all out? Yep. A little bit of the old leverage perhaps. There's probably a special technique with these, and they just pop out. I've yet to find it. That's it. Oh. What was that? Ah, I knew what it was. I forgot to take the... I always do it. Forget to disconnect the... oil pipe. That's what stops it lifting up. There you go. These large sized bushes, there's one or two for sale, you see on the internet. The original equipment at £8 each. But, oh look, here's a problem, see, it's broken away there. But it's only a shroud round the bush, it doesn't do anything really. When you put the bush in, you can use some epoxy Stihl aluminium just to put it back. There's a little rubbery thing there. I won't take that out yet, otherwise it'll leak. Alright, put that to one side. Actually the rubbers are quite stiff. That one's a bit soft. That's a soft one. That one's gone altogether. That's why the screw was missing, it broke off. That one's degenerated. Right. Okie dokie. So we've just got the crankcase and the crank, which is the main bearings and to I don't know where we got to, but the battery went. Well, what we were talking about, it's probably these rubbers. You can get them from China, but they usually come with two large ones, 22mm diameter, and 4 smaller ones. But they still go in the small. But the only problem against them is that the thread that screws in, that goes into at the other end, is a coarse thread. And I'll just have the facilities to turn them back down to, I think, 4mm or 5mm, 4 to 5 to 4 or 6 to 5, I don't know. But you have to get them down to the small, to 4mm. Or you can pay £8 each for them, and it'll cost you £6, to £48, $50 odd. So now we're going to split the crank. Oh, hang on, we've got a problem, I think. Houston. No. Oh. 1, 2, 3. No, but alright. I thought 1, 2, 3, 5. There's so much gunge in the threads. And there's a secret one down there that goes across the width. And 2 in there. Another one up this end, full of muck. Full of muck. Now when I split these crankcases, being as I haven't got a splitter, a pusher, a puller or a prodder, I always seem to do it in a different manner each time. Oh, the carpals. Shaved all my whiskers, cut my whiskers back at Christmas. I know. Grow it for next Christmas, get the Father Christmas job in the forest. 6202s for the bearings when you order them. Anyone's SKF roller ball bearings. No rubber seals or nothing. And the drop out. 2, 3, 4, 5, should be 6. 6. All good. Oh, and the hidden one, 7. The hidden one. Right. I kind of think there's still one missing in. I'm just going to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That one's out. Right. Just needs there's a gasket glue holding it. There's a rubber hammer. There's a rubber hammer. Here's a leather one. You never know when your tree wedge is going to come in handy. base gasket has just got enough to stop it splitting. I bet you never thought you'd wedge with them, hey? I bet you never thought you'd wedge with... Hey, what about that? Huh? Wow, that bearing's shot. Hey, they don't usually come off like that. The crank shouldn't have walked like that. Ah, big end's fine. It's just the bearings that go. Look, one of them turn. Grunchy, grunchy, grunchy. Hey. Awful. We've got to get this one out now. But if it's anything like the other one, a good little bit of a tap on that. Now, normally I can get down the back of these. You didn't see me doing this, being as it's my own. Right. No movement. No movement. I don't want to hit that. I'm going to get another nut. Hang on. I'm back in a sec. Right. I don't know how much of that last it went off again. Just getting this mains off. Just getting the mains off. Something a bit I suppose this is about a puller wood. As it says in the title, this is bib and braces off-grid grid. Right, I can get into that back edge now. There's my punch. That'll do. There you go. A bit noisy. It's this other one that's locked up. This one. Let's see if we can knock it out. turn. Shot. Fancy that turning at 10,000 RPM. Blow apart. Right, them studs. Crank. I've never known a crank to go. I don't even know what's in there. It'd be a needle roller, I would think, but they never go. And as for the crank, here's some Scotch-Brite. One polished. How about that, eh? Nothing to it. Here we've got the numbers for your cranks, look, 7610. And on this side it's called a what's it on there? Something Sweden. I don't know how they get these out. I suppose I heat them and blow a torch and press the pin out. I don't know what's in there. Whether it's a bronze bearing or I've never ever known one to have any play in it. Right, here we go. So don't forget your wedges, crankcase splitters. Brilliant. And there it is. Next step is to put it all in the paraffin Bosch. There's the smallies. Good to see us again after Christmas. Cut the whiskers down. Got to grow them again now for next year, for Father Christmas. And I'll see you for part 2. Over and out. Don't forget, I've got 34 subscribers. 34? Miserable. But I get a good lot of views on these. Well, good lot. 150 perhaps on the last one, 250. So somebody's not subscribing. It'd be nice to see you there. So if you could, you don't have to expose yourself. You just click the box and subscribe with it anonymously. Yeah, it'd be nice to get that up. Over and out. Now I've got a box of these nuts for the doings end here. It's going to make me look an idiot now. Let me see, let me just check that out. Hang on, I must have re-threaded them. Because what I have I've got the wrong box. Coming back. Right, that's all the bits boshed up. much to it, just getting them apart. We're into a cardboard box in the morning. I'll go and do your video, part 1, 380 CD, eBay, spares all repairs. I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. Took the top plate off and I dropped it in a jar of petrol. There's a little bit of muck in it, it's not a lot. I'm going to change the battery, it's good. Right, we're in business again. So we've took the top cover off. And we just take the bottom plate off. Hello, Mrs Digwell. Say hello to the tubers.
Hello, tubers.
I'll show you. Look, here she is. Tiny Figment.
Hello.
She's just done a cartload of sticks, kindlers. So we, oops, everything we take out goes in the, don't get light in anything in here, will you? I've got a Molotov cocktail just here. Easy. Oh, look at that. And they wonder why they won't run. Hey, look at it. Absolutely minging. I've got a few sets of repair kits, so I can afford to go all the way. Take the needle valve out, the spring, throw them in the bin. Now there's two little plugs here. On all the repair kits you get that are out there, they say it's an HSK 23. You get two of these, but this one is always too big. It's a little tiny one, and you have to just hold the one that they give you in your fingers and thumb and just file round it till it's small enough to replace. You normally take these out, and that one's nothing under it. This one's got a little filter under that might get clogged up, but I'm going to leave it in this time. So we'll take out the high and low. Remember which one's going which hole, but you won't get the one in the one hole because it's not deep enough. So don't force it and knacker the taper. See, one's got a little short stubby end. I think that's the high. Might not be. Might be the low. I'm just a off-gridder. Another one in there. And that's about it. The rest of it's all just the casting and waterway and holes. This comes out, it's spring loaded in the one end. I forget which end it is now. In here, in one of these here, there's a spring, so if you do take it out, no need to, you undo the nut there, just take the butterfly out, but then it'll pop out because it's spring loaded. Or spring loaded in here, or somewhere anyway. We'll work it out. There's no need to remove it though, really. And then just drop your marmalade jars just the right size. Switch it about a bit, and then just leave it to stand. Preferably not by any outdoors and in flames, and make sure your top's screwed well on. And that's it. I've got a dewdrop on my nose. But that one, the little heart, this is the heart valve we call this. It goes up and down, 10,000 times a minute. But they can get pretty mucked up, look, with little tiny bits of, it's usually wood chips and what have you, and chainsaw oil. And all this eventually makes its way into the little drillings that supply the fuel. So that's that one. So there we go. That's just a little bit on the Tillerton. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I've only got 34 subscribers. Need to get it up. Buy more old saws, more videos. Bye for now.